The X Zone Radio Show is heard on radio broadcast affiliates worldwide, including
AM 580 CFRA in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada.
WPUL AM 1590 in Daytona Beach, Florida.
KOHI AM 1610 in St. Helens, Oregon.
KHRO AM 1150 in El Paso, Texas. And for more information on becoming a professional broadcast affiliate of the X Zone Radio Show, visit
www.xzbn.net
or call toll-free worldwide
1-800-610-7035.
The X Zone radio and TV show is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X Zone radio and TV show or in any manner endorsed by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, Talkstar Radio Network, its affiliated stations, or employees.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
The wind seems to violently blow as I see the shadows of the trees dancing in the moonlight. In the reflection of the pond, the moon seems to glow. The illumination of the moon seems very bright. Listen. Quiet. You can hear them sing. The creatures of the night singing their hideous song. The silence of the night, their voices sting. They sing their song in unison, as if to a choir they belong. The song they sing, you would think they are sad, but you must understand why they sing, trying to say in their existence they are glad. Creatures of the night, to your song forever cling. You make the darkness of the night seem alive, each of you singing in your own different way. Oh, the song of the night, of this, please, of me, never deprive. It's like I understand everything they say. I love these sounds as they echo in the air. Listening to them, I feel no fear or fright. My dear friends sound as if they haven't a care. For this I know, because I too am a creature of the night.
Creatures of the Night is by my guest this hour, Lanaia Lee. Now, Lanaia was born in 1957 to a Navy father and schoolteacher mother who homeschooled Lanaia. When she was 9 years old, her mother died from a massive stroke. Because her father was rarely home, her grandmother, a professed black witch, gained custody. When Lanaia was 14, her foster parents, her grandmother abandoned her, and she landed in foster care, where she had 4 sets of foster parents within a year. At age 15, she went to boarding school on her dad's GI Bill. She graduated in her junior year after which she drifted, living with various people, but without a family or a home. At 18, she married, suffered 3 miscarriages, and divorced. By 19, she had begun working in management for convenience stores and restaurant chains. She remarried at 30 and had a stillborn daughter the following year. 5 years later, her husband left her for a 17-year-old. She filed bankruptcy, and 1 month later, suffered a massive stroke, after which she spent 7 months in hospital and remains in a wheelchair today. Exonation, for the next 2 years, she underwent intensive physical therapy, but she would never walk again. She found work at a vocational trade school to help with her rehabilitation and met her soulmate, David, also in a wheelchair from a motorcycle wreck he sustained in 1984. They had been married since 1992, Exonation. They too lost 2 children due to her disease, erratic hypertension. She and her husband live independently, and she still drives. In 2001, David dared to write her a poem. Out of curiosity, she posted it online in a poetry forum. The feedback was so positive, she kept writing. At first, she just wrote poems, then short stories, and finally, novels. All of her work is typed with one hand because of her disability. Lanaia gives credit to the grace of God, which has helped her overcome immense adversity, and she claims she won't quit until she hits the bestseller list. When I come back from this 2-minute commercial break, my very special guest this hour, Exonation, Lanaia Lee. My name is Rob McConnell. This is the X-Zone, and I will be back on the other side of this break with Lanaia Lee in 2 minutes. Don't go away. Exonation, Lanaia Lee is my special guest, and her website is www.lanaiaslayer.com. And Lanaia Lee, welcome to the X-Zone.
Hi.
Hi, Lanaia Lee, you have... all I can say is how have you been able to carry through with everything on a daily basis with what you've gone through in life already, sweetie?
Well, being a Taurus helps. You're determined. And I am very determined, very determined. I won't let fate overcome me.
Good for you.
You know, I go with what I got. Life goes on. I have to.
Tell me a little bit about your writing, your poetry. Where do you find the inspiration for your poetry, first of all? Let's talk about your poems.
Okay, everywhere I look, everything I see, everything I smell, I get different ideas from everywhere. I mean, you know, like the guy that records my poetry.
Mm-hmm.
He'll come up with an idea. He'll want me to write him a poem. I can have him ready in 20 minutes.
My goodness.
I'm fast.
But you're also good.
I write, my secret is I write my last line first. And that way I can build the rest of the poetry on the last line.
Hmm.
I do everything. I write the last line first in everything I do, even my novels.
Tell me, when you were a little girl growing up, did you enjoy writing? Were you an aspiring poet way back then?
No.
No?
No. I entered a contest when I was 11. There was a show that used to be on TV late night Saturday night called Shop Theater, and they wanted you to write this letter of the undead, and you know, I used a brown paper bag, I burned around the edges to make it look old. Then I used red ink to write the letter, and I won.
Good for you.
And I didn't recognize it. I didn't recognize the talent at that time.
I understand that there are some problems with somebody plagiarizing a lot of your work.
Absolutely.
Can you give us some background on this?
Sure, when I first started writing the series of Atlantis, which contains 5 books, I was more or less, I guess you could say, blinded by flattery. This bogus lit agent, his name is Christopher Hill. There's even a Yahoo group called Beyond Hill, that there are 50 members of people that he tried to, mess up. And he was in Scotland, so I hired him as a ghostwriter, which a lot of authors do, because I felt my first book of Atlantis, I wanted to use the old King's English. And he was from Scotland, and I figured who better to help me than him. He helped me all right. He plagiarized the work of David Gemmell called Dark Prince. The whole prologue of Atlantis to begin with was the plagiarized chapter 1 of Dark Prince, which I did not know because I am American. I have no idea who David Gemmell was until this took place. And because of what he did, I self-published up until about 1 month ago. And now I have my own independent publisher. I am no longer self-published.
Excellent. Congratulations.
It took a while, but I got there. Told you I'm determined.
That's because you're a Taurus, just like I am.
Absolutely. You are. We'll get along good then.
Yes, we will.
My publisher's a Taurus, too. So we get along good.
I understand that that you also have written a few short stories. Can you tell us about the short stories you've written?
Well, they were just like my little thing going from poetry to a novel. Because, in a novel, I was going to have to write, like stories. So my first novel was called Chamber of Time, which a friend of mine is a self-publisher, and she loves the book. And I look at it as like, it's like a whole work of short stories. I think I got 42 chapters in the book.
Holy cow.
But they're numbered. It's like case number 1, number 2, number 3. And it's going to be published along about November.
All right, now tell me about your novel. I believe it's called Skulls of Salvation.
That's the old one. It's the second one of Atlantis. There's 3 more waiting in the wings to come out. And it's all about the Mayan doomsday prophecy and the crystal skulls of belief.
Tell me, what's your opinion on the Mayan prophecy? Do you think the world is going to end on December the 21st, 2012?
I don't know if the world will end or not, but there's going to be something that happens because the galactic alignment that they refer to is backed up by NASA. It is going to happen.
But
so who knows?
But galactic lineups, that really, they've been happening throughout time, and the Earth has gone through them before. I understand that this is backed by NASA, but I don't know why people are always putting a doomsday spin on things. Any ideas why?
Well, the big thing of it is the Mayan calendar ends, and the Mayan calendar comes in increments of 5,125 years. So according to the Mayan, the world has been destroyed 4 previous times. And each time the world was destroyed, it was the end of a calendar, or cycle, as they call it. Well, December 21st, 2012 is the end of the 5th cycle. That's where it comes from. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but I do believe there's going to be something that happens.
Well, if anything, the Mayan calendar certainly has brought to the attention of the population of the world that we are living on a very fragile ecosystem, a very fragile planet that we have taken advantage of for so long. And I believe that it's brought an awareness that we would not have had otherwise. And it's nice to see people trying to make a change.
But they hadn't changed yet, and I think it's too late. I really do. Because if you think about it, our ozone layer has a hole in it. Okay, the alignment I'm referring to is the Milky Way, the Sun, and the Earth in total trajectory.
Yeah.
The middle of the Milky Way is thought to be the center of our universe. It is also thought to be a black hole, immense gravitational pull because of it being so unstable. Nobody knows how powerful that pull is. What if the solar poles of the sun shift, or causes a solar burst? But our hole has an ozone layer in it. Ozone layer. Our ozone layer has a hole in it. So we'll get something. Nothing else but the hole. But if it's a gamma ray burst, you might as well hang it up. Because the particles that are emitted before the burst would totally eat away our ozone layer, and we would be at the mercy of the gamma ray. And I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you know, when I was writing my book, I understood it could go either one or two ways, destruction or an awakening.
Mm-hmm.
If there's an awakening, that's already started happening, gosh, 10, 20 years ago. Look at the ghost hunters and stuff out there now, people trying to get in touch with their spirituality. And maybe that's it. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out very shortly, aren't we? Tell me.
And there's a lot of, you know, controversy over whether it's going to have midnight the day of, midnight the day after. It's going to happen at sunrise. Because you think about Stonehenge, you think about pyramids of Egypt, think about the pyramids in Central America. The winter equinox, all those things are a play on lakes. It's going to happen at sunrise. I mean, that's what I think after all the research I've done.
What happens if nothing happens?
Then we'll see December 22nd. And hopefully it will have, you know, really scared enough people that people will take it seriously, and there will be some massive changes in our society.
That would be nice
as far
now,
as the
wouldn't
way
it?
we treat the earth and stuff.
As well as the way we treat each other.
Yeah. We lost the meaning of humanity about 1,000 years ago during the Dark Ages. And it's been going on ever since. It keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
I understand that you can only type with one hand, Lanaia. How hard was it for you to do your novel?
Not hard at all.
Really?
It's like when I'm writing, I'm channeling. I'm not even aware I'm typing with one hand. It's like I go into a trance or something.
Mm-hmm. And
my husband he has to call me 5 or 6 times if I'm writing before I answer. Because I'm not paying him any mind. I don't know what's going on around me. When I write, I'm in the book. I'm seeing the book. I'm seeing my characters. Everything plays out in my mind like a movie.
Wow. How long did it take you to write your book?
Well, let's see here. I started writing 2002. Right now I've got out 3 anthologies, a dark poetry CD, and I've got 6 novels ready to go, which 2 are out. And 3 more will be released before the end of the year.
You're one busy lady. That's all I have to say.
Writing is an obsession. I mean, it's a passion.
All right, you and I have to take a commercial break. Please stand by, Lanaia. It's great talking to you. Congratulations on all your successes. My name's Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone. Lanaia Lee and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break. Don't go away.
Something in your eyes makes me want to lose myself. Makes me want to lose myself.
You're listening to the X Zone Radio Show, live and around the world on the Talkstar Radio Network. X-Zone Broadcast Network, UK High Definition Radio,
Euro High Definition Radio,
and Star Cable. Our toll-free telephone number worldwide is 1-800-610-7035.
Our email address, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com.
On MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv@hotmail.com,
And our website,
www.xzoneradiotv.com.
I love this big old, and you bought it for me. You know I am obsessed with antiques and things associated with history. In old places like this, I always wonder about the owners that went before me. Oh, the things I wonder about, that only history and the imprinted walls, they and only they alone hold the key. Gargoyles all around this place. I bet previous owners thought these things would protect them. The Gothic style of this place can certainly give one chills. Everything is so intact, just like a skirt and its hem. To look at this place, one knows things here might scare them, and they might not understand the things they feel. The first night in this place, a storm outside, naturally the electricity goes out, leaving us to use candles and walk around in the candle's very dim light. In this dim light, it can cause one to question what they see, making one full of doubt. You have to take time to think about everything within one's sight. Now, in the dimness, we start hitting things that no explanation can explain. Above us, it's like we hear someone walking. They sound like the person would be very heavy. Besides the unexplainable footsteps, we can hear the torrents of rain. I go upstairs, trying to find the source of the footsteps, but there is nothing I can see. Then we start to hear what sounds like a child as it cries. Is this really happening? There is a reason causing this to occur. We take it upon ourselves to try to follow the sounds of the child that cries. Following the sounds, we end up outside, taking us to a shallow grave. It's like we're being pulled here, and from here we cannot deter. Right off the back porch, in the pouring rain, we stand and you start to dig at the shallow grave. The more you dig, the louder the child seems to cry. You stop for a moment, but I ask you to continue. In this we must remain brave. Then we see bones, human bones, and those of a child. One that led us here. Then, wanting us to know, here is the shallow, cold hole. The poor child must have taken their last breath, as here they had to die.
Lanaia Lee is our special guest. Lanaia, what is the story behind A Child's Cry?
Just, I think it was off the urban legends off TV. I get, different ideas from different sources. I've got about 2,000 poems put back that I haven't used. I can't keep up with all of them.
Wow. Tell me, Lanaia, what is your take on the way that people are now looking at the paranormal for answers to life?
I think it's neat because I am the world's worst for conspiracy theories. Even I'm quite an amateur ancient historian too, and I don't believe we have been told everything about our history. I don't believe it. Because I mean, all you got to do is open your eyes and look around. I mean, the Great Wall of China, the pyramids on the Giza Plateau, the mountains in Ireland, Stonehenge. You are not going to tell me primitive man did that by themselves. They couldn't have. There's no way.
And yet there's historical records showing that the Wall of China, the Great Wall of China, was actually built by the Chinese. That's historically proven. But what about Atlantis? Do you think that Atlantis was real?
Absolutely, no doubt in my mind. It's real. It was a real place. My mom, being a teacher, she introduced me to Plato's Atlantis when I was 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I have always been obsessed. Well, when I pick a topic to write on, I like to write a topic I'm very passionate and obsessed about, so my passion can flow through to my novels.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did with of Atlantis. When I started writing, it was going to be one book. When I finished, it was 5.
Son of a gun. Why do you think the information is being suppressed and that the true history is not being revealed?
Power, for one thing. Because, just like, look at the Vatican and the bad rap they gave to Mary Magdalene when what's his name? Oh, who was it? He was the guy that brought Christianity to Rome. Who was he? Constantine.
Mm-hmm.
When he went to pick the books of the Bible, he and this Council of Nicaea is what they were called. They picked the books to go in the Bible. They were picked by man. They weren't picked by God.
How different do you think the Bible really is compared to the Bible that we have now?
Quite a bit. Because, I'm more up on my New Testament than Old.
Mm-hmm.
In the New Testament, they tried to say Jesus just as a divine, that he was divine. But Jesus was half human. He was also a man. And according to Jewish law, he didn't start his ministry till he was 30, according to the Bible. And Jewish law, he would have been obligated to marry and procreate. And why couldn't he have been a man and still been divine, too?
I haven't been able to figure that one out myself.
I mean, it's like the people that picked out, the books of the Bible,
mm-hmm.
Everything had to be, it's all right to be spiritual. That's fine. To give all the facts. I mean, he was a man also.
In your opinion, what is the biggest mistake in our history?
The Knights Templar.
Were they good guys or were they bad guys?
Oh, yes. Wait till you hear this one. Yes, they were good. And they were scourged. They were tortured. They were burned at the stake. Last year, they found a 700-year-old document in the Vatican Library that pardoned the Knights Templars. Now, that made me mad. I'm going to write a book later on down the line called Memoirs of a Templar. I've got to, because that made me mad.
So, how do you think history should read? If you had the ability to rewrite history based on what you believe and based on what you know, how would history read? Where would the biggest changes in history be?
All along the way. Because I honestly believe this to my very core, that we have brethren from elsewhere, either another dimension, another plane, another planet. Who knows? But I believe there's more out there than what we know.
Have you ever seen a UFO?
Yes, I have. Just flying across the sky, no sound, a blinking light, and it wasn't a plane. Because I know what a plane looks like. And it wasn't a plane. I have no idea. But, I mean, things are happening now that, like I read this morning on the computer where the borealis, how do you put it, the lights in the sky.
The northern lights, yeah.
They're farther south than they have ever been. So this earth is going through some kind of change. And that's like down here in North Carolina during our summers. 80, 85, that's our normal temperature. Today we're looking at 110.
My heavens.
I mean, in wintertime, when I was growing up, it would snow 6, 7 times a year. Now we're just good to get one. So, yes, this earth is changing. Whether anybody wants to admit it or not, it is changing.
So what do you attribute these changes to? What do you think is causing these changes?
Global warming is a big part of it. I agree with that. And I think we're getting ready to go through another cycle, as the Mayans did, as they predicted, because even in ancient Egypt, there is an ancient record of the earth going through all these climate changes about God. 50,000 years ago, 25,000 years ago, something like that. But it's happened before, and it will happen again.
Exonation, Lanaia Lee is our special guest of this hour. Her website is www.lanaiaslayer.com. What do you believe is the hardest part of becoming an author?
Getting faith in your work, the faith in yourself. To me, that was the hardest thing to do. Because, I sit back here and, I don't have to self-publish any longer. I've got my own publisher now. And, me, we're talking about me. It's kind of hard to swallow, But once you get that faith, why lie about it? I can write. I know I can write. Because anybody that's read any of my books, I always give rave reviews. Like, my publicist has a friend that's a movie critic.
Mm-hmm.
She read the first book of Atlantis, and she surmised it in 4 words. Page to screen recommendation. That was good enough for me.
You said that you and James Cameron had a lot in common before we went on air.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yes. Well, everything he touches is gold. That's what I like it for. And he has an imagination, a vivid imagination, just like I do.
Mm-hmm.
He's into fantasy, just like I am. He's into Titanic, just like I am. He loves to write, just like I do. He likes biblical archaeology because he did a special on the History Channel. It was called Decoding the Exodus. He did with Simcha Yakubovich. He's a Canadian biblical archaeologist. Excellent. I've got it taped, and I dared my husband to erase it. Because, really, I think if Cameron got a hold of my work, I think, between me and him, I think it'd be great.
What does your husband think about you being an author and starting to receive the recognition and the accolades that you are?
I couldn't ask for any better support than my husband. He's been with me when I wasn't, anything, and now that I'm starting to blossom a little bit, he's still beside me.
Isn't that wonderful?
So I want to go all the way with him.
Tell me about the audio work that you do. Who's the voice behind your poetry?
Oh, well, his name is Victor Rossetti. We met when I first started writing. He liked my work, so he recorded a few, and we didn't even think about doing a CD until last December. And, that's what he does. He just does, like, voiceovers and stuff. He's great. And he has a website, Dragon Lair Studios. And, he's like me. He's along with me for the ride. Because if I go, he's coming with me. He's my narrator.
Tell me, what are your plans for the future, Lanaia?
Well, of Atlantis, all 5 books are going to be out. And my new novel, which is called Prey of the Scavenger, It's about a serial killer that is a hoodoo practitioner. Have you seen the movie Shutter Island?
No, I haven't.
You remember the movie The Sixth Sense?
Yes.
The twist at the end? Well, The Sixth Sense and Shutter Island both kind of unfold like my novel. You don't know really what's going on until the very, very end. The twists at the end are magnificent. The publisher that adopted me,
Mm-hmm.
I just sent her my, Prayer of the Scavenger just to look over and give me her opinion.
Yeah.
She made it to chapter 5, and she said she wanted me.
Excellent.
And all the work I've done that she's read, she loves it.
Lanaia, stand by. You and I have to take our final break. Exo Nation, Lanaia Lee is our special guest. Her website is lanaiaslayer.com, and we'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with our wrap-up for tonight here in the X Zone. 1-800-610-7035 is our worldwide toll-free number. My email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv@hotmail.com, and our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break as we continue from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. My name's Rob McConnell. Don't go away.
The hoodoo.
On my way to better things, I found myself some ways. Distant roads are calling me. No time for a summer friend. No time for the love you send. Seasons change and so did I. You need not wonder why. You need not wonder why. There's no time left for you. No time left for you.
Exo Nation, Lanaia Lee is my special guest this hour. Here's her website, www.lanaiaslayer.com. First of all, Lanaia, it's been a great pleasure having you on the show, my dear. I wish you much happiness, much success. But I would like to ask you, how has your health been lately?
Well, for 16 years, up until last month, my blood pressure hadn't given me any problems.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got what was called hypertensive nosebleed.
Yes.
And I lost so much blood, they were ready to put me in the hospital and give me a transfusion. But we got it knocked. They had my blood pressure medicine. I'm all right now. So.
How you've been through so much in your life, God bless you.
Just made me strong.
You're an inspiration.
That's what I hope to be, because when something bad happens, you've got one or two choices. I know this is awful, but you can wallow in self-pity, or you can pick up what pieces you got left and go on. And I choose the latter. Because if I'm going to be here, I'm going to have what I got,
That's right. Listen, what would you like to share with the Exo Nation around the world?
First off, James Cameron, have your ears on.
All right, Jim, if you're listening, get a hold of me later. You know how.
And everybody else, don't think crisis is the end, because it's not. Life goes on, unfortunately.
I have to ask you this question. When you are dealing with a writer's block, and I know all you authors get them, what is the technique you use to blast that writer's block away and get back in the swing of things?
Well, Rob, I'm going to be honest. I've never had writer's block.
Oh, Lord.
Never, ever,
Really?
ever.
Let our listeners know how they can find you and where they can get copies of your books, my dear.
Go to my website, www.lanaiaslayer.com. Go to the home page. Everything is there. Or go to Amazon, and all my work's on Amazon.
Lanaia, I want to wish you the very best. Please give my best to your husband, Wayne, and I look forward to talking to you in the future, and if James Cameron calls, I'll give him your contact information.
Please do. Please do.
Take care, Lanaia. It's been a pleasure talking to you, dear.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Lanaia Lee has been my guest this hour, Exo Nation. What a lady. What a fighter. God. She should bottle her energy and, well, I think she's doing that in her book. Once again, her website, lanaiaslayer.com. Well, that's it for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow night at 10 o'clock as once again we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X-Zone. So until tomorrow night, X-Zone Nation, if you have a child at home, give them a hug, give them a kiss, let them know they're loved because the children of today are the leaders of tomorrow. And, you know, our children mimic what they see. Love. That is what this world needs. So until tomorrow night, remember, always keep your eyes to the sky and your heart to the light. Good night, everyone.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay.